This is the KOOZ 72V Pro 5000 watt electric dirt bike. My hands-on time started right at unboxing because it ships in a heavy cardboard box inside a steel crate. The packaging is serious, and it needs to be. Box weight is about 205 pounds. From my experience, the crate did its job and the bike came out clean. Assembly wasn't hard. I mounted the front wheel, bolted the handlebar to the stem, set the front fender, and connected the battery. Basic hand tools handled everything. Key tip if you're new to this type of bike, go over every critical fastener before riding. Axle nuts, triple clamps, brake caliper bolts, rotor bolts, linkage hardware. These bikes are priced for performance, not for concierge level QC, so that pre-ride check matters. Key features you're probably here for are the 72-volt system, the QS brushless motor, the 30-amp-hour lithium battery, hydraulic brakes, and the 3-speed modes on the bars. On paper, it promises up to 50 mph and around 40 miles of range at a steady cruise on hard surfaces. In my opinion, the headline 5,000 watt number can be confusing if you're new to e-moto specs. The motor's nominal power, what it can hold for a long period, is around 2,000 watts, while 5,000 watts is peak power, short bursts for acceleration. That's why it rips off the line and out of corners, but doesn't feel like a 5 kilowatt race motor forever on a long straight. The payoff is instant torque you can actually feel in your wrists. The chassis is steel, frame and rims, and that brings pros and cons. It feels sturdy, and I don't get flex that makes me nervous, but it also means weight. At roughly 182 pounds, it's not a featherweight, and you feel that if you're muscling it around a garage or loading it solo. On trail, the weight can be a plus. It tracks straight, and at speed, it feels planted. Where the pounds show up is in tight switchbacks and slow technical spots where quick direction changes take more body English. The controls are simple and familiar. Twist throttle, levers for the hydraulic discs, a key switch, and a basic battery meter. The 3-mode speed selector is the star. Mode 1 is mellow and tops out around 25 mph. Mode 2 opens it up to the mid-30s. Mode 3 lets it stretch its legs. I used Mode 1 to get a feel for the throttle on loose dirt, then jumped to Mode 3 once I trusted the front tire. The top end depends on rider weight, tire pressure, and terrain. On hardpack, tucked, it pulls into the high 40s for me. On grass or loose gravel, you're trading some top speed for traction. Suspension is straightforward. Inverted hydraulic forks up front with 170 millimeters of travel, and a single rear shock with damping. For casual trail pace, the front feels fine. No harsh spikes on square edges, and it doesn't deflect off roots. The rear, in my experience, is where I made compromises. I'm around 185 pounds with gear, and under harder hits, it feels underdamped and can get low in the stroke. You can manage it by avoiding flat landings and backing off a hair on repeated whoops, but if you're heavier or jump happy, you'll notice it. If you're handy, a shock upgrade later would be money well spent. Braking is honestly one of the most confidence-inspiring parts of the bike. Front and rear hydraulic discs bite hard, but are easy to modulate, which matters when you're hauling down a slope and need to set the front tire right on the edge of grip without locking it. Let me touch on the controller, because it's a big part of why this platform feels like a tuner's playground. It uses a far driver controller, and with the optional Bluetooth adapter you can tweak top speed, starting power, throttle response, and regen. Quick explainer. Regen is regenerative braking. The motor acts like a generator when you let off, adding a bit of charge back to the battery and slowing you down without using the physical brakes. I tuned a slightly softer initial throttle for tighter single track and bumped up regen so I could rely less on the rear brake on descents. From my experience, the difference is huge. The bike's personality changes with a few taps on the phone. Ergonomics are dirt bike standard. The seat height is 32 inches, the stance is upright and active, and the narrow seat makes it easy to shift weight. I'm average height, and I can get the balls of my feet down comfortably. There's decent ground clearance, 13 inches, and the wheelbase around 46.85 inches keeps it stable without feeling like a bus. Tires are 7100 to 17 front and 9100 to 14 rear. Proper knobbies that hook up well on hard dirt and grass. For deeper ruts or taller riders, there's a 1916 wheel option out there, but the stock setup is totally workable. Range and charging are exactly what you'd expect from the spec. The included 84 volts, 5-volt charger gets me from empty to full in roughly 5 hours. On a chill cruise over mixed surfaces, I've seen close to the claimed 40 miles. When I ride it like a dirt bike, short sprints, braking hard, accelerating hard, some hills, I get more like 20 to 25 miles before I'm ready to plug in. That's normal for spirited riding with this battery size. Now the real talk on reliability. I ran into an issue after about a week. The battery stopped taking a full charge, topping out at 3 bars and dumping quickly during rides. That was frustrating because the bike itself is a blast. I reached out to the seller and started the warranty process. The listing I bought from states a 60-day parts replacement warranty, which isn't generous, so I'd planned to do that initial inspection carefully and keep documentation of any problems early. In my opinion, this platform offers serious performance per dollar, but it also asks you to be your own mechanic and your own quality control. I checked every connector I could reach, snug terminals, and it helped a little, but a weak cell pack won't magically fix itself. One more bit of context that matters if you care about long-term support. The HP117E is the model number you'll see reused under different brands. I've also seen it listed as Mototech 72V Pro, and it traces back to a Hyper-built bike. That doesn't change how it rides, but it can change parts sourcing and customer support. I'd recommend this for riders comfortable chasing parts, doing basic troubleshooting, and making small upgrades over time. If you want dealer-level service and a long warranty, that's a different price bracket. Key features that sold me are the punchy 72V system, the real hydraulic brakes, the usable 3-mode limiter, and the far driver controller with Bluetooth tuning. It's perfect for backyard tracks, dirt lots, and short trail loops where you can head back to charge. From my experience, it's also happiest with a rider who respects the power curve. The manufacturer says 13 plus with a 210-pound max rider weight. With a bike that can touch 50 mph per hour, I'd keep younger riders in mode 1 and supervise closely. Build details you might care about: steel frame and rims, chain final drive with 1448T gearing and a 428 chain, 53 links, IP65 water resistance, padded single rider seat, key start, and a basic battery meter. The plastic bodywork looks sharp but feels a bit brittle, so if you tip it over in rocks, be ready for scuffs or cracks. The welds aren't boutique pretty, but they're functional. In my opinion, the ride experience outweighs the polish. It rips, it slides, it wheelies on loose stuff in the high mode, and the brakes bail you out when you get overexcited. The weak points are the rear shock's control over big hits, the overall weight when maneuvering by hand, and the uncertainty around long-term battery life if you get a pack that isn't perfect from day one. I'd recommend this for mechanically inclined riders who want electric torque without paying premium brand money, who enjoy tweaking settings, and who don't mind checking bolts, fixing a squeak, or replacing a part here and there. It's also a fun step up if you're coming from lower voltage e-bikes and want something that actually feels like a dirt bike. If your priority is a plug-and-ride machine that never needs attention, you might get frustrated. In conclusion, the KOOZ 72V Pro HP117E delivers real performance and real smiles, with the caveat that you become part of the maintenance crew. Treat the pre-ride checks as non-negotiable, use the speed modes to match your skill, and consider the Bluetooth controller a must-have upgrade for tuning feel. When it's on, it's thrilling, and that's what keeps me coming back even with the hiccups. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, drop your questions or your own experience in the comments, and I'll follow up with updates on the warranty outcome and any mods I try next. Thank you for watching.